Hello, humans. We are starting to have conversations, and I think that's a great thing. We need to start talking more about our inner darkest thoughts, don't we? So that maybe instead of talking about just the problems, we can find solutions or freeing your mind of preconceived notions on matters that actually don't exist. Hello, humans. One of my videos has reached 13,000 views on YouTube. With 13,000 people watching you, that invites 13,000 opinions. So when reading these opinions, I came across an opinion that me and my hairdresser were talking about yesterday that I didn't even realize was trending on as far as a problem. Someone made a comment on my YouTube video. They said, and I quote, and I'm almost certain that they didn't even mean to offend. I'm almost certain they didn't. They said, I looked at your thumbnail and I thought, here's another ghetto woman saying something. He further on said, I could not believe how you challenged my own thoughts. He was trying to compliment me. But what I don't know if he realized is he insulted me first. He said, I thought it was another ghetto woman expressing her thoughts on this particular matter. I realized something. This man didn't even hear a word I said before already assuming I was ghetto, all because I am African American. That word ghetto is amazing to me. All of this is, okay, we're gonna have to deep dive in this madness, aren't we? Okay. Ghettos were a man-made construction. It was physical. Construct is something else, forgive me. The Nazis built ghettos for the Jews during World War II in Poland. But yet you see my black face and you say ghetto. I did come from something called a project. See, here in America, we had projects because that's exactly what they were. That were mimicked as ghettos. Interesting. Now let's go to history. Remember I told you, history will tell you everything you need to know. After slavery ended, and after two years after slavery ended, when Texans found out, that's why my mother loves Juneteenth, she's a Texan. After slavery ended, the only jobs black people got were the same. It was 2 steps above slavery. We sharecropped. This is the same job we've been doing, except for now, we're not doing it for free. We're doing it for 2 cents on the dollar. You know, almost free. Now, let's progress more as we are sharecropping and learning how to integrate ourselves in a society that told us we weren't even human, a society that said we don't deserve laws, and the laws that are in the land in which you brought us did not apply to us, right? All of these things that really weren't for us here. So as we're integrating, we didn't even integrate, we're trying to integrate ourselves into this society that doesn't want us. We have to make a way to feed ourselves. We have to make a way to feed our children, because sharecropping wasn't doing it, right? So what we realized is we were talented as H. We could sing, dance, perform, act, all of these things. When we were doing it amongst ourselves to entertain us, when we were in the fields, we produced songs, we produced music, we did plays, we did poems. We were entertaining our own people through the struggles and hardship of the work that we had to do to supply food to our families. Okay. Then other cultures, particularly the Caucasian culture in America, started looking in on what we were doing and thought it was cool. Like, what is that music you're doing, right? What are you singing? Dang, you sing so well. So when they went into our culture and saw what we were doing for one another, They mimicked it in the worst way. They mimicked it by putting on our face. They put a black face on. And not only did they put a black face on, but they completely over-exerted our expressions. They were acting black towards us. That was their interpretation of us. Oh, baby! All of these over-expressive taunts on how we were, right? Okay. So what did we then do? We then copied the joke and gave it back to them to entertain them. You see, when we're entertaining you, we're safe. And not only that, but when we're entertaining you, we can feed our kids, because sharecropping was 2 cents on the dollar. It was just 2 steps above slavery. So we realized as a culture, oh shoot, we can make money by entertaining you. And it was also an introduction on, we may not be what you think. Look, I can sing. Look, I can play a trumpet. Look, I can play the piano. Look, I too can dance. I too read poetry. I too can do all these things. And it was an enigma to them. But we had to only do it in an acceptable way, which was, oh, baby, because you were more comfortable that way. You were way more comfortable with us acting like that than you were us acting anywhere else, any way else. Let's fast forward. As our culture then had to experience Jim Crow, separate but equal, colored only water fountains, white only this, we started realizing that entertainment could be a way out. Not only that, but it's a way that all of a sudden, maybe you're a different Negro. All the other Negroes are this, but you're a different Negro because I like the way you sing. You're a different Negro because you can throw that ball way up in the air. You're a different type of Negro because, man, oh man, you stole first base in a way I've never seen a white man steal first base playing baseball, right? This is going through Jim Crow eras. So again, we are trying to integrate ourselves in a society that does not want us, trying to project who we are. But again, we failed to be accepted in a way that you would accept us. Again, we had to overexert this idea of who we are. Let's keep going forward in our culture. The 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Oh, goodness. This is only what I can speak on from my own experience, okay? And this experience is not to harm or hurt any of my mixed Black women, okay? Sis, this is not here to hurt you or your mama or anybody else. But I'm going to be very honest. Most of my life, I was told I talk white. I remember running home. I remember crying and running home and saying, Mama, they said I talk white. And she looked at me and giggled and said, who said that, baby? And I said, this white girl named Amber. This white girl named Amber said I talk white, Mom. Mind you, I'm in the projects. The only way I know Amber, because I was in the projects, she lived in the projects too. But Amber told me I talked white. I never heard that from my sisters before, but I heard it from Amber. She told me I talked white. My mother said, honey, you don't talk white. I don't even know what that means. You talk like me. Which is very true. I sound just like my mother. Which is odd because she's from Texas with no accent. That's another story. So, I wiped my tears and I'm like, okay, whatever. Amber's crazy, right? Then let's go forward. I moved to Southern California. I still spoke this way, right? And I noticed only later the majority of women who told me I spoke white were the ones who had either white mothers, if they were mixed women, mixed girls, my mixed friends, if their mother was white, they were more likely to tell me I spoke white than if I had a mixed friend whose mama was Black. or just my regular friends, but both parents black. I didn't get that from my own people. They would always say, girl, you're so proper. Girl, you're so proper. But it wasn't a joke on me. It was an understanding of who I was because they knew who I was. We all on the projects not eating. Did you not notice my hue, honey? No matter where I go, the world will never let me forget who I am. But again, there was this constant thing about how I spoke. Do you see the privilege in that? How can Caucasians own diction? I speak with diction. And I also noticed something else. When I moved to the Seattle, Washington area, I saw so many white women with black men. And I thought, oh, shoot, what's up? We're going to be cool. Oh, man, I got my feelings hurt. Mind you, this was 20 years ago. Things have progressively changed. But 20 years ago, I noticed in the workplace, they didn't like me. I didn't understand why. I'm trying to get these white women to like me so bad. And I'm like, what is it about me? But then when I would see them on Facebook, they had all these black friends. But guess what black friends they had? The ones they were comfortable with. The ones that talked ghetto. See, they were more comfortable with that. I guess I was a threat. I realized that later. So this whole idea of ghetto humans, it was never ours to hold in the first place. It was never a black woman or black man's identity in the first place. It was Caucasians' idea of who we were. Ghetto was a white person's version of who I was. And again, fast forward today, there are more women like me who talk like I do, so I'm no longer an anomaly. But 20 years ago, man, oh man, either I talked white, or I thought I was white, or I thought I was better. And I'm thinking, my belly is growling just like yours. How on earth do I think I'm better? You got some bread? You please, butter, sugar, I'm hungry. So, again, however, I did not get a lot of that from my friends who had black mothers and black fathers or a black mother. We have now, as a culture, defined it as code switching. Code switching. If you know, you know. Okay, I'll explain. Code switching is basically what we sound like to each other versus what we sound like to you. Now there's an actual term for what has been happening forever, amen, since the days of Emancipation Proclamation, which was the freedom of my people. We had to remain safe and we had to entertain you. My question now is, has this entertainment gone too far to where now, before I speak, before you can hear anything I have to say, you have already summed up that anyone that looks like me is ghetto? When in reality, it was never my identity to begin with. It was Caucasians' identity about us. It was the biggest joke. But we played you to entertain you with it because it kept us safe and it kept our children fed. And we didn't have to be 2 cents above slavery. I still find it fascinating, though, that the first word that comes to your mind, if you're not part of my culture, when you see someone that looks like me, is ghetto. When in reality, other cultures know more about what a ghetto is than we do. However, you're not comfortable. Some of you aren't comfortable unless I snap my neck or do something that is more comfortable to you. I will say right now to my brothers and sisters who are mixed race and to the many wonderful white sisters I have who have been trying to teach their children their other culture, this is not for you. I am not trying to hinder you. I am not trying to take anything away from what you've been trying to do as far as helping our culture. We welcome you, hon. We love you. But what I am saying is a fact of my experience that most of the time, anybody who was perplexed, bothered, or uncomfortable with how I spoke, it was not my own people telling me this. It was other cultures uncomfortable. So I am not here any longer to make you comfortable. I will be me until God calls me home. I don't know how to be anything else. Anyone who's ever known me knows this is exactly how I've always been. I have been waiting for you, America, to catch up. I'm still waiting. Humans, know I love you. I will always love you and I won't give up on you, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you. Get there faster, please. Because hate will make you sick. It will make you sick and it'll leave you confused. And you're walking around feeling a certain way and you don't even know why. But again, humans, I love you. But get there faster, please. I'm waiting. But in the meantime, you are what? You are loved, you are blessed, and you are never alone. God bless humans.